Hello, 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 and welcome to the Mildly Controversial Podcast. This is Series 6, and they said it'd never last. This is Series 6, and this is Episode 6. Now, if you've been watching or listening to the previous 5 in this series, you'll know that Baz has been on sabbatical, so I've enlisted the help of some NotBazes. This week's NotBaz is an IZBAZ. Because it is Baz. He's back.
Gonna do it. Hello.
Hello, Baz.
So can I just say, first of all, this is the first time I've put this camera on since the last broadcast, and I'm looking at it going, "Oh, my beard looks awful." I'm just going to sit here and sound really critical of my own appearance now. So if you're not watching this, watch
Baz,
it, and then you can come and join in with my criticism of myself.
Baz, nobody's going to criticise your beard because they're just glad you're alive.
Yes.
Because I don't think people were believing me when I said you were just having a bit of time off.
Well,
I think.
God, I was going to say I got to the age where I could have died.
Yeah, that's why I didn't joke about it.
Oh, just in case.
And that's why at no point in the first 5 episodes of this series did I say, he's not dead.
Yes.
Is it because, you know what, you're knocking on and there's every chance by the time it goes out. I mean, there's every chance. I mean, we're recording this on Monday night. It's a bit of a gamble that it goes out Wednesday before you're dying. So
I'm not leaving the house between now and Wednesday. just to keep you reassured.
Be very, very careful, Baz. Yeah, so loads of people have said, is he all right? Where's he gone? So this is the first thing I have to do is this is proof that me and Baz haven't fallen out and he's not dead. So, and on that bombshell, that's where
Good night.
That's all we came on for, to tell people that.
In fairness, I should explain, as my head's not been in the right place for it, to be fair. I literally was like, so I never struggle mentally. It was just a case of kind of going, you know, I've got a lot of stuff on, and I've had a few issues physically, as I've discussed with you a while ago. And yeah, just, it's like all things, you get out of the habit of doing something and then it gets harder to sort of drop back in again. But I have watched in fact, I've listened to 2 of the episodes when I was going up to Birmingham last week, and I've watched a couple of them. So I watched the Paul Foster one, which is interesting because I only met him once before he came on. And obviously I saw Kimmy, and I obviously, you have to watch all the ones with Dana in anyway. So who else did I miss?
Oh, well, he's gone. After that massive build-up of Baz coming back after so long away, he's literally just disappeared from my screen. Oh, well, it didn't take long, did it? I mean, 3 minutes in, Baz has thought, do you know what? I was right not to fucking bother with this podcast anymore. And he's gone again. So, I mean, he could have broke it to me more gently than that, couldn't he? Instead of just going. What am I going to do? What am I going to do for it? We're 3 minutes in. What am I going to do for the next 45 minutes on my own? I'm not interesting enough or talented enough to carry this on my own. What should we do? Should we have a quiz? It's all right. He's back.
Fuck knows what that was. I just had to check my speed connection. It just said, it just kicked me out and said, not connected anymore. And I was like, this might have pressed a button. Go, this guy's boring. Pop.
I've just said pretty much the same thing. I was like, I can't believe he's only lasted 3 minutes back. I thought, fuck this, I'm going again. It was better when I wasn't doing it.
I don't know. It might go again. I just checked my connection. I've got full speed. Well, let's go again.
I mean, look, Baz's house is 400 years old. I just didn't realise his internet connection was 400 years old, so...
Oh, mate, I've been pissing around with it lately as well. We'll have to talk about... Can we talk about Alexa when we're on here as well? Because I've gone mad for it.
Well, I think you saying that has probably kicked off a load of people's things if they're listening out to it, listening loud to this.
Hopefully. Alexa, turn off the lights.
So if you're listening to this if you're not listening to this podcast in the dark, say thanks to Baz. Hey Siri, turn out the lights. Just in case people are doing it as well.
Oh, thank God I got earphones in because they'll be doing it now. Yeah, so we were talking about people who've been on the podcast. So I've got Paul, Annika, Dana, Kimmy, and then I'm one.
Laurie was the other NotBaz.
Laurie. Yes. Sorry, Laurie.
Sorry, Laurie.
Not that he ever listens to anything he's not in.
I don't think he listened to the one he was in, to be fair.
Exactly.
I'm going to edit it.
Oh, no,
Go on.
I did see the start of the Laurie one. That was it, yes.
So welcome.
God.
After 5 weeks of NotBaz's, welcome to our first ever IZBAZ. Yay! Oh, mate, I am so... what people don't really... People will probably be thinking that we chat all the time and it's just that we haven't had a podcast for ages. But I haven't... I mean, we've been messaging on WhatsApp and stuff like that, but it's the first time I've seen your face in proper life. And not one of your Instagram reels. It's nice to see you.
Well, in fairness, I've decided to have all of January off of lots of things. So this, for the first time ever doing a podcast, no rum in it.
It's just cola.
Yeah. So I was going to have a dry January just because I've never done it before. Turns out, because I was away last week, I'm having a damp January.
Well, I'm only drinking Polish lager.
January. Okay.
Tonight? Because I definitely. Oh,
is there a name behind that?
Well, it's yes. Not that I'm sponsored by it, but I would like to be. Is Tiskia. It's actually very, very good. One thing I do need to say is, while we've been gone, Baz, I found a booze hack. I found a beer hack, right? And this is genius. You'll be aware that obviously I live in the Republic of Ireland and we have minimum alcohol pricing. I've spoken about this on the podcast before. And occasionally I nip across the border to get cheap cans of beer and bring them back for my personal consumption only, in case the in Revenue and Customs are listening. I made that sound like it wasn't for my actual consumption, but it is.
I was going to say, what are you doing with it?
Anyway, so I occasionally nip over the border to Asda and get some cans and bring them back. Now, the Republic of Ireland has a deposit return scheme. So if you buy cans or plastic bottles of anything in the Republic of Ireland, you have to pay 15 cents extra for a can or a bottle below a litre, I think it is, and 25 cents extra. And what you do is, when you go to the supermarket, there's a little machine, you can get it back on a voucher and stuff, so it encourages people to recycle, yeah?
Yeah.
My hack is when I go over the border to Northern Ireland, to Strabane, to buy Stella, I bring it back over here. Not only is it significantly cheaper than half price over the border, it's got the little returns logo on it, so the Irish government pay me 15 cents for me empties, and I didn't even pay the deposit in the first place. It's brilliant. I worked it out. It works out as the equivalent of 62 cents, about 50p a can. And cans are £2 here, so it's.
I'm assuming, just because you're local to the close to the border, that you could actually pass on the savings to other people if they gave you the money, and then add 10%, couldn't you? Could you set up your own, like, illegal? Maybe you have. Maybe I shouldn't.
I told you it was all for personal consumption, Baz.
Yes.
No, I haven't.
Yes, of course.
No, I haven't.
Wink.
And the reason I haven't is the word illegal that you used.
Yes. Yeah, no, but like illegal sometimes is fine. It makes you could be the modern day, I don't know, beer dealer.
Like Robin Hood, the Robin Hood of Stella.
Yeah.
Taking from the rich, i.e. the people who can buy beers cheap, and selling it to the poor, i.e. the people who have to pay a lot of money for it.
I mean, it's the equivalent of a booze cruise, right?
It's the world's worst booze cruise. Yeah, I get in my car.
Yes.
I drive about 20 minutes over a little bridge to a town called Strabane, which isn't the best of places, but it's got an Asda with cheap booze. So do you know what I mean? It's all good. It's all good.
What assumes that various governments and like people locally know this is possible, right?
Yeah,
it's not, you're not a super criminal. No, I know that much.
I mean, as long as it is for personal consumption, they don't mind you going across the border buying what you want coming across, because it's it's one of the vagaries about Brexit. Was the whole thing. You know when we all voted for Brexit or against Brexit, depending on which way you did it. When we all voted on Brexit. No one mentioned the Northern Ireland thing, did they? And then that became the massive sticking point behind the whole thing. No one mentioned it at all to begin with.
Wasn't it largely forgotten by certain people?
And then they couldn't decide where to draw the line. So the bottom line is, politically, they can't make a hard border between Northern Ireland and the Republic of Ireland again, because we'd go back to the 80s and 90s and 70s and 60s and all the stuff that happened then. So yeah, they let you go where you want, and they just accept the fact that people in border counties will go and buy their booze cheaper across the border, and people further south probably just can't be arsed. But if I lived in, if I lived in Dublin, it would definitely be worth 3.5 hour trip up, fill the boot full of booze in Strabane or somewhere just over the border, and then back down again.
I was going to say, because there'll be people who live right by that ASDA that you go to, just as close as possible to the other side of the border. That is their local ASDA.
Yeah, exactly. Isn't it? Yeah, no, there's no restrictions. And what I'm doing is fully legal, Baz, not illegal like the thing you suggested I do, which I won't.
Yes. Are we still saying other supermarkets are available?
No. I mean, there's only one. There's only Asda. Asda's the only supermarket in the world. It's the
Asda, come and sponsor the podcast. We're only mentioning you.
Yeah, please. And Asda's a good one because they don't have any stores in the Republic of Ireland. So if I was nipping across the border to Tesco and buying my booze and coming back here and buying it cheaper than they sell in Tesco here, then Tesco might object. Yeah. But Asda wouldn't give a shit because there's no Asda stores in Ireland. So sponsor us, Asda. That'd be nice. Thanks. In fact, you could just pay me in.
Cool.
You could just pay me in cans of Stella because every can of Stella you give me for nothing, I can sell to the Irish government for 15 cents. So effectively, that would be enough payment, beer and 15 cents a can. Thanks.
Cool. I was just going to mention this because, like, in the real time, it's Monday the 19th of January today.
It
is.
So
it's still the first time we've spoken officially this year. So Happy New Year.
Thank you, Baz.
I want to know whether the statute of limitation runs out on it. 'Cause, like people, it changes for lots of people. People say, "Oh no, it's the end of the month," and I'm like, "Let's make it the end of the year." If it's the first time you've seen somebody, it's Happy New Year, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the rules are. Some people have said it to me this week, and I'm just like, it feels a bit weird. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what the rules are. I mean, maybe there should be, because there's a hard and fast rule of when you got to take your decorations down, isn't there? Like the 6th of January, I think.
Correct.
Isn't it? Maybe there should be. Yeah. Maybe we should campaign for an official date where it's the last day you're allowed to say Happy New Year.
Well, like I said, I just want to be really awkward and say it's until you've seen anybody. So if you don't see anybody till July, Happy New Year.
I was just going to say, if you are one of Baz's mates and you're not planning to see him to July, I want you to say Happy New Year when you do see him in July.
Well, it'd be great.
You'll make his day. Anyway.
Well, I said Happy New Year to Joe the postman today, anyway.
You said Happy New Year to the postman?
Yeah, because it's the first time I've seen him this year.
Very good. Very good. Do you not get much post
then? Joe. No, I do, but I've been away for 2 weeks. So
19 days.
All the good stuff.
Bless him. 19 days in, it's the first time Baz has had a letter through the post.
And it wasn't. He came to collect Liz's KitchenAid, which has been repaired for the first time since we got bought 20 years ago.
Blimey. Right.
My life is that interesting. This is the highlight today.
This happens when you're older, ladies and gentlemen. The highlight of your day is a postman coming to collect something that needs repairing.
Yeah, I'll go to the toilet 14 times. That's the highlight of my day. Anyway, it's 14 times a day.
My postman brought me something special last Wednesday. I got a letter from the revenue in the post. And I panicked, as you always do when there's a letter from the taxman. But I opened it up and it was a cheque, right, which is nice, isn't it? So I got all excited.
Go
on. I got all excited. I was like, "Oh, this is better." I mean, it wasn't a massive check. It was like €250 or so.
That's enough.
But it turns out it was some tax that I'd paid because when I did some acting work, I paid some tax on that separate to the normal tax that I pay as a self-employed person.
Yeah.
And it was on an emergency tax code, so I paid too much tax, and they've given it me back. So I'm buzzing. I'm like, yes. Yes, the revenue's given me some money. And I was like, no, they haven't. They've just stopped taking money they shouldn't have. That was my money all along. I was like, why am I getting excited? Why am I getting excited that I've got a cheque of money that is mine anyway?
Yeah, but I mean, in fairness, they gave it back to you, which they don't always, do they?
Yeah, but I mean, I could have had 251 euros if I'd have put it in the bank and
Yes.
it'd have earned interest and I hadn't spent it, which never would have happened.
Well, I have a question for you then. What are you going to spend it on now? It's like free money.
Well, I had to get the brakes done on Emma's car today, which literally was 250 euros. So it spent itself. But I haven't even got the money yet, because this is the fucking stupid thing about it being a cheque, right? Because it said, because we haven't got your bank details, we've sent you a cheque. It's much easier if you give us your bank details. I was like, I ain't giving you my bank details, because what if I owe you money? Then you can take it. At least if I owe you money, I can decide when to pay it if you don't have my bank details. So that's why I'm not giving them my bank details. But this time, they sent me a cheque, right? And I put the cheque in the ATM, right? Which I thought, this is brilliant. So I put the cheque in the ATM. And it said, do you want a scan of the cheque to prove it's gone in? So they say it prints out a little, it's like a little fax that comes out of the thing with a picture of the cheque I've just put in. And it says, this cheque is for 253 euros, whatever it was. So it knows how much it was. It knows if it can scan that it's from the revenue and all that kind of stuff. I was like, that's brilliant. It's popped up on my bank, but it's not in my available funds yet. I mean, this is a bank. My main bank account is an online-only bank account. I only have this other one for times when I have to pay checks in or pay cash in and stuff, and then I switch it over. So I noticed, so otherwise I might not notice, but I noticed that I put this check in on Wednesday at 4:00. It's now Monday at 9:30, and it hasn't cleared yet. I mean, how is that not cleared yet? They've scanned it. They know exactly how much it's for. They've sent me a little picture or given me a little picture of it, so they know it's a genuine check. And it's a revenue. I wouldn't mind if it was like a personal check from somebody else, but it's from the revenue. Do they think the Irish government's not good for 253, hasn't got 253 euros to honour the cheque to me?
Well, if you look upon the fact that it doesn't actually exist anywhere anyway, it's just a load of digital numbers, it should go through instantly, shouldn't it?
That went existential there. You got to...
Yeah. No, I've been talking about this recently with somebody about the fact that money doesn't exist anymore. No. It's just a load of digits that somebody that we supposedly trust goes, tap, 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 tap. There you go. I've lent you money which I don't have.
Exactly.
And I was thinking, why can't I do that?
But
why can't I lend money that I don't have to somebody and then they give it back to me with interest?
I think, isn't that called like short selling or something like that? Something like that, isn't it? Or there's something on the stock market when they do that, isn't it? I think that's what short selling, isn't it? Like people sell stuff they haven't got yet, but they're gonna buy it when the price goes lower, and then they'll do that. They gamble that the price is going to go lower. They'll buy it in a bit and then give it you.
It's one of those sentences you just said. I understand all the words, but I've no idea what they mean when you put them all together like that.
I mean, did it sound like I knew what I was talking about?
Well, it did, because I had no clue what you were talking about. But I've heard of all those words, and I've heard of all the things you're talking about, but means fuck all to me.
Mate, that was like a word game. There was a lot of English words tumbled out of my face. They probably weren't in the right order, and they didn't make any sense, but they were all English words. So there we go.
I thought of a thing we could do in the future, like pretend to talk knowingly about a subject which you have no knowledge about at all, and see if you can actually make it sound sensible.
That's pretty much what we've been doing for 5 years on this podcast, Baz.
Yeah, but sometimes we do speak, from a place of knowledge.
Yeah, we do. We do know something.
I can't think of the last time.
Anyway, look, I need to say this because I was mentioning about some acting work I did. This isn't the acting work I'm talking about, but it is now 9:15 on Monday evening, and 15 minutes ago. I have two things to say here, Baz. The two things may or may not be related. Okay. The first thing is, you may remember that about 18 months ago, I did some acting work where I was a double for somebody in a huge production that was so big I wasn't allowed to say anything about it. Okay,
I forgot all about that. It's such a long time ago.
I'm still not allowed to speak about it. Okay, so that's statement number one, right? Statement number two is that 15 minutes ago, the prequel to Game of Thrones, called A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, started on Sky Atlantic 15 minutes ago. There's two statements. They may be related or they may not be related. That's all I'm saying. I cannot confirm and I cannot deny if those two statements are related. Do you think?
Do I remember rightly that the thing didn't have a title? Because I don't remember it being called that. I just thought it was something to do with Game of Thrones. Am I talking out of turn now?
No. It's fine. It's fine. Like I say, we could talk about we could talk about the show that started 15 minutes ago. That's fine.
Oh look, it'll only be Daphne and Sue who talk about it.
That may or may not be the one that I did. I was a picture double on. But yes, so that's quite. I'm really looking forward having. Although, I mean, this is quite curious that I'm really looking forward to this new Game of Thrones prequel called A Night of the Seven Kingdoms.
Yes.
Despite the fact I've never watched Game of Thrones before, there's something that's compelling me to watch this one, and I can't put my finger on what it is.
Because it will be interesting, won't it? Because say it is the thing that you were in, when you see that you on the screen and you know it's you and I and anybody who's listening to this podcast will be the only people on the entire planet that know it's you.
If I've done my job right, because I was literally paid to look like somebody else. If that's what happened and it is the same thing that we're talking about, which it might not be.
Yeah, but isn't that a nice club to be in? So like there'll be loads of people who just think that when the bit that you were the body double in, when they see it, they'll just think it is the actor that you doubled up for. Yeah, and clearly, as it turns out, he's too fucking lazy to do long shots and stand, wherever he was stood from. So they had to get someone in and put. Well, yeah, I mean, and he would have charged them a lot more money than you, right, to turn up.
He would have charged a lot more. And when you say he was too fucking lazy, he may have been doing some actual close-up acting in the studio at that time. So they may have needed somebody who resembled his appearance to sit in the royal box of a jousting scene, filmed over 8 days, 5 days, 3 night shoots, in Antrim. And I mean, some of those things may or may not have happened. I can neither confirm nor deny them.
When can you properly announce what said acting role you were in? It's once it's been on the actual television.
I don't think I can.
Oh, ever?
I don't know. Science.
Well, surely once it's out, you can say it because it's been on. People would have said it.
I think I am allowed to say that I did a bit of work. I'm just not allowed to talk about what it was and the production and all that kind of stuff. I don't think I'm gonna.
So if I pretend that I was in it. I'd be okay, wouldn't I?
Yeah, because you didn't sign a non-disclosure agreement with HBO.
Yeah, I'd be making up the fact that I was in something that I clearly wasn't. But then I could talk about it, and then everyone else can imagine. Oh, I wonder if Baz was talking about that, but it was Mike talking about it. Then it would be actually what you were in. That isn't too confusing.
I don't know. I mean, look. I mean, we're deliberately muddying the waters, but everybody knows what's going on. Nobody's stupid enough not to understand what's happening here. But to be fair, all the actors who were in it are allowed to say it. They've had it on there. I mean, loads of the actors who were in it were putting stuff about it at the time because it was common knowledge that the lead actors were certain people, and I met quite a few of them. And look, I'm gonna no one's gonna give a shit. No one's gonna give a shit. Yes. So I will do. I met Finn Bennett, who played the lead on True Detective alongside Jodie Foster. I met Oscar Morgan, I think he's called. He played Bruce Wayne's son in Gotham Knights. Met him. And I didn't meet Bertie Carvel.
Well, this is the odd thing, isn't it?
Because I was him.
Yeah. Well, if he'd have been there, there'd be no need for you to be
exactly, because he looks more like him than I do.
Yeah. Luckily.
Anyway.
Although...
sorry. I didn't mean to talk about this, but here we are.
No, I find it interesting. As you know, I've got a massive love of film and acting. So, but I genuinely, it's so long ago since we talked about this, in similar terms, where we kind of skirted around the edge, but
Yeah.
skirted even more around the edge before.
Yeah, because
it didn't have a title before, did it?
Because it wasn't released, and I bleeped a bit out and things like that. But now it's out, and no one's going to give a shit. Either that, or by the time by next week, I'll have been sued for the €253 that I have in my bank account. That hasn't cleared yet. By the time it gets cleared, I'll owe it to HBO.
Well, it'd be nice though, because it means someone somewhere is listening to this podcast.
Somebody's listening. You mean somebody more important than? Oh shit! I nearly said not more important than the people who listen to it. Nobody is more important than the people who listen to this podcast.
It just meant more numbers.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure nobody on the HBO payroll is employed to seek out whether somebody who was a body double or a picture double for one of the main characters in the new show is talking euphemistically about it on a podcast. I don't think anybody's paid.
Imagine they were listeners anyway, and they've only just gotten onto the fact that the thing we were talking about was the thing that he worked.
If there's anyone listening from HBO, I apologise for all that stuff. If you put me in somewhere else in the future, I promise not to talk about it. There you go.
Who is it you doubled for?
Bertie Carvel.
Bertie, if you're watching this, please come and be a guest.
Yeah, and
we'd like to know what it was like you being a body double for Mike.
Bertie Carvel, if you are listening to this podcast, or if anybody knows Bertie Carvel, send him this podcast, and we want him to come on and chat with me, and it'll be weird. He'll be like looking at himself. He won't now because I look completely different, but yeah, I do need to implore him to get more jobs where they need somebody to look a bit like him from a distance. So
yes.
So there you go. I mean, I'd like to think that he would flick through a script that is being pitched to him, and it'll go, are there any opportunities for somebody who looks slightly like me from a distance to get involved in this?
Especially wearing the same clothes and from behind.
I mean, if there's not,
because I've got the perfect man.
If there's not, I'm not interested. Go away and write it so that there is a few scenes where there's a guy who looks a bit like me from a distance, with his hair dyed and his beard cut shorter, and in a massive costume. To look a little bit like
but
me.
many a Hollywood actor has the same body double that stands in for them in every movie they do.
Well, I would like.
So there's no reason why Bertie Carvel could not have you. Just like you probably haven't seen Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, but that's about an actor who just hangs around with his body double like all the time. So that's your new role, is just to go around and like hang around with Bertie all the time.
Do you know what? I'm willing to be his double in real life as well. If he's getting hounded by fans or paparazzi or whatever, I'm quite willing to go and do his shopping at his local store, and people think it's him, so that he can just nip out and have a bit of peace. Yeah,
because you could get out the car, run around the corner while all the fans chase you, and he can just
go
and
shop to his heart's content, because all the
buy his fags from the shop.
All the Game of Thrones mentalists will be chasing me around the car park thinking it's him. I think it's a good idea. Right then, on to something that I did plan to talk about in this episode.
Oh, that wasn't planned.
No, that wasn't. Well, I was going to mention that it was just because it's on now. As we're recording. The second season of Obituary, which I'm in playing 4 different characters, and I am allowed to talk about quite openly because they didn't make me sign anything to say I wouldn't. I have something I want to get off my chest, Baz.
Go on.
I have a mildly controversial opinion for you, Baz.
Go on.
Okay.
I'd forgotten all about these, to be fair.
I know. It's almost like it's the point of the podcast, isn't it? Right. Deal or no deal contestants should not be allowed to breed.
Oh, okay.
There you go. So there's the clearly outrageous statement that will be clipped for social media. That's the hook for the start of the social media post.
Right. Go on to explain where this opinion has come from.
This opinion has come from the fact that I do like watching Deal or No Deal, but I don't know why I like watching it, because I just shout at my television through the whole episode. and it's infuriating. I mean, people who are listening in the States won't understand this because the American version, I don't know if you know this, Buzz, but the American version has just got, the UK version, as you know, has got all the future contestants who have got boxes, and they all live in the same hotel, so they form friendships and stuff, and there's all the interaction between all the different the contestant and the potential future contestants. So there's all of that goes on. Whereas in the States, it's just 22 generic, very similar, very pretty women in tight red dresses holding a suitcase. So, so what's the Americans gain in blatant, over sexualizing of a game show for no apparent reason? They lose in the fact that you don't have all these nut jobs on it who shouldn't be allowed to breed. Now, go on.
I was going to say, just before you go too far, we've got like a mutual who won the programme.
Oh, really? Who's that?
That we know. Yeah, Amy Jo Simpson.
Really? Was she on it and she won?
Yeah. Yes, she was. She was the. I don't know what the person's called in the middle. The chooser.
Yeah, the contestant. Yeah,
because he'll get a go, but she had her go. And I think she won $10,000.
Oh wow! Right,
and it was a fair few years.
Okay, I need to qualify it then. All the Deal or No contestants who aren't called Amy Jo Simpson should not be allowed to breed. There we go. I've qualified.
Yes. Oh no, it wasn't. It wasn't just to draw you back on that. It might be a thing. We can have a Deal or No Deal episode later and get her on to tell us what it was all about.
So I can slag it off. So again, for people who haven't seen it or Americans, in the UK you have a kind of a horseshoe of 21 people who have got the other boxes, and you've got one person in the middle who's got the box that they've chosen. And it's just all the things. You've seen it, haven't you, Baz? When I refer to things that happen on the show, you'll understand them. It's just the whole thing. It's a fucking game of chance. Right, that's all it is.
That's what I was about to say. That's all it is.
It's literally a game of chance. Before the show, everybody picks a box completely at random, and there's a sum of money in that nobody knows what's in each one of them, right? It's as simple as that. And it's all the whole thing of just, when it's like, they'll go, well, I've got these numbers. I'm going to keep that number. I'm going to keep number 7 to the end because that's our Terry's birthday. And it's this... that makes no fucking difference to the number that's in that box or the numbers in your box. So don't be stupid. Stop being silly.
Yeah.
And they'll go like, Doreen, number 7, I want to open your box. And she'll go, I've got a really good feeling it's a blue. I was like, you've got no fucking chart. You've got no idea. You've got no idea what's in your box. And that's the whole point of the show. So stop going on about it. And
well, what does me is at some point they start... like bringing up a strategy.
Yes.
And like there is no fucking strategy. Yes. Just look to someone in the room. Obviously you could choose your best mate to be the last one if you want to. But there's no, like, as you say, it's just like you might as well close your eyes and go, who's in the box over there? You open your fucking box.
And do you know what, Baz? Nobody has a strategy, but they should have, and I'll come to that later. Because I've never seen anybody do it. But anyway, I saw one the other day. Right. And I saw one the other day where the woman went, number 15, Greg, right? And he puts his hand and he went, don't come to me. I've had Reds all week. I was like, and what? There's still a 22 to 1 chance that you've got the 100,000, right? Just like there was yesterday and the day before and the day before. What went on beforehand has absolutely no bearing on what you've got this time. Even if you had the 100,000 box 15 times in a row, you've still got the same 22 to 1 chance of having that 100 because it's not related what's happened before. So stop all this fucking like, no, don't come to me, I've got a bad feeling about this. Or I've had Reds. It's just bloody chance. Nobody knows what's going on. Do you know what I mean? And it's like
the odds of the lottery numbers being 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Exactly.
It's as likely to be that as any other.
Exactly.
Number,
but don't pick those numbers, because if you do, you'll get fuck all, because loads of people put those numbers on, so it'll be split between loads of people. But no, there's another one that does me head in, Baz, right? On Deal or No Deal, when somebody goes, like, oh, number 6, Teresa, open yours. And she's like, good luck. I've really enjoyed getting to know you in the hotel. Oh, we'll be friends for life. We will. Poof. She opens it up and it's 100 grand. And she goes, oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm really sorry. And the person who picked it went, it's okay. It's okay. Of course it's fucking okay, because you picked it.
Okay, yeah.
You're the one that decided that's the one you wanted to open. And she's got no idea what's in it. It's not her fault that you picked that number.
That's a really good point as well, isn't it?
She goes, I'm sorry. No, it's okay. It's okay. Don't be... No, it's fine. Well, it wasn't her, was it? She picked a box and you told her to open it. That's all that happened. So just this whole thing of, oh, I'm really sorry. It's like, it's nuts. Anyway, I would love it, right? Because nobody plays the odds. Right? Nobody has ever gone on and talked about the odds and the likelihood of things happening, right? If you think of like the comparison with poker, right? Obviously, there's a lot more skill involved in poker, but there is an element of luck in poker, right? There's a lot of luck in poker, but you calculate the odds of the likelihood of things happening as to whether you do things, right? And you could do that with Deal or No Deal. I'll give you an example, right? Because nobody ever does this, right? There was a lady last week, right, and she had 5 boxes left. Right, and she had it, and then a bank. So she had, I think it was a penny, 1,000, 10,000, 50,000, and 100,000. Right.
Wow. Yeah.
So she's really good, and then the banker rings up and she's like, oh, no, and the banker's offered £10,050, and she went, oh, that's a really good offer. Oh, I'm really tempted. That's not a good offer. That's a fucking awful offer, and I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
If you've got 5 boxes, one's 50 grand, one's 100 grand. One's 10 grand, which is pretty much what you were offered. There's 2 higher and 2 lower, right?
Yeah.
The only way your offer of 10,000 is going to go down the next, because you've only got to pick 2 more to be left with 3, right?
Yeah.
The only way your offer is going to go down from 10,000 is if you knock out the 100,000 and the 50,000. Because if you knock any of the other 3 out and you're left with either the 100,000 or the 50,000 or both in your last 3, you're going to get an offer over 10 grand, yeah? The odds of picking the 50 and the 100, you've got 5 boxes. 2 of them are the ones you don't want to pick, so you've got a 40% chance of picking one you don't want in the first pick. But if that goes out, you've got a 1 in 4 chance, so that's a 25%, right? 25% multiplied by 40% gives you 10, right? There's a 10% because it's a quarter of 40, yeah? So it's a 10% chance of both of those things happening. So you've got a 10% chance of your next offer being less than 10,000, but she's gone, oh, it's a really good offer, that is. No, it's not. You've got a 90% chance of your next offer being way higher than that, so don't be tempted. Do you know what I mean? Nobody does this. Nobody does it.
It's
Nobody
only a good offer if you've got the penny, or if you know you've got the penny.
But look, I mean, like I say, you've only got a 1 in 10 chance of knocking out those 2 and your offer going down. So you've got a 90% chance of your offer going up in the next one. So 10,000 is a ridiculous offer. It's a shit offer. Go ahead. Same as poker. If you've got a 90% chance and the river beats you, then fair dues. Do you know what I mean? But But nobody ever talks about the odds, and nobody ever works out the odds and goes, do you know what? If I got that, so if I knock those 2 out, then I've been offered 10 grand, but I will probably walk away with 2. So I'm gambling 8 grand here to potentially win. I'm gambling 8 grand to potentially win 20 odd, 30 odd. So nobody ever talks about that, and I'm pretty sure they must tell them you're not allowed to, because nobody's ever done it before. And there's another thing that no one's ever done before, and I would do it just to ruin Deal or No Deal. I would go on. I'd go, right, here we go. Box number 1, please. Open that. It's like, Box number 2, please.
I've discussed this very same thing.
Box number 3, please. No strategy.
I think you're not allowed to do it.
You just go.
I don't know if you're. I don't think you're allowed to. I think it might be one of the things they said you can't do. Because my strategy would be like, no matter what happens, I'm going away with my box. I'm doing this, and just bang, 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 bang. Yeah, hurry up, fuck off, fuck off, fuck off. This is what I'm going. You know, because by the end of it, if you just do that, you just say the chances of that being a good prize are. Yeah, but there's what's the highest blue? It's like 1,000 or 500.
Something like that, yeah.
And then the lowest blue is going to be, red is.
Yeah.
So you just go, fuck it, I'm just going to go. If it's a penny, that's what I came for. But I'm just fucking everybody else off.
That's another thing with the blues and the reds. They just think like, oh, reds are bad, blues are good. And like I say, in that previous episode, the woman had loads of reds. So the red ones are the ones over $5,000. Excuse me, something like that.
Yeah.
But she still had the 10,000 and the 50,000. So like, someone opened it and it said like it went $5,000, and because it was red, everyone went, oh. I was like, that's the third lowest one out of all of them. Why are you moaning at it because it was red? That's brilliant.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying about it. If you just say, no matter what happens here, you can offer me all you like. We're going for the one in this box. Number 14 on there is my box. I'm opening that. Yeah, carry on. Yeah, Gene, open the box. 100,000. Yeah, fuck off. Just keep going. I don't care. Yeah, go on. Banker. Nah, fuck off. I'm not taking it. Go on. Get right to the end. What is it? 50 quid. Yes, go on, son.
See, Baz,
I came for what I wanted.
Baz, the thing what you've done there is you've proven why you will never be on Deal or No Deal, because that episode will be about 4 minutes long. They've got an hour in the TV schedule to fill, and yours will be about 4 minutes. Is that right? 1, 2, 3. Oh, 1, 2, 3. That's the ones I want. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Right, next, give me the offer. I'm not taking it. No point. Give me the offer. Don't even ring the banker. Right, 4, 5, 6. 4, 5, 6 next. 4, 5, 6. Yeah,
exactly.
It don't matter anyway. I'm just clearing all them out of the way, and I'm taking this one home. So do you might as well.
Yeah, the good thing is you could come on the second half and do yours as well. We both get ours out of the way at the same time. Apart from at the end where you got 5 left, where you got your watch out, you got calculating right. My odds here are like 1 in 7. So, banker, fuck off.
Yeah. So the reason that Deal or No Deal contestants shouldn't be allowed to breed is just they're always like, they've got a picture of the kids, and like, oh well, before I came on, my daughter said she had a good feeling about number 10 and number 7.
Yes.
Fucking give it a rest. Do you know what I mean? They weren't even picked at that stage. So even if she was psychic, she wouldn't know. Do you know what I mean? Even if she could had X-ray vision and could see through the boxes to what's in the boxes, they've not even been picked at that stage. So tell your 4-year-old kid to shut up.
Well, you got the crowd, haven't you? Oh, it's the best sound ever.
Yeah, and then they got like, have you ever seen it when they and it's just, it was worse. To be fair, it was worse when Noel Edmonds was on it, because it was so cringy that he called them all pilgrims, and he had it was so bad. And what they used to do is go, oh, we really need it to be blue, right? Everyone chant blue, 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 blue. And they're all holding hands and stuff.
Oh.
I was like, oh, fucking give it a rest. And when they all start doing stuff like that, I can't wait for it to be the really high one. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Because quite often, when they've got a nice story or they seem a nice person, I'll be like, yeah, I'm rooting for them. I want them to win a decent amount of money. As long as they play it right and they don't piss about and go, oh, yeah, well, that's a good offer. No, it's not. Just as long as they play it right and they've got a bit of balls or something like that. And it's like, no, well, we're only here once. No deal, mate. Come on, let's go. Let's do it. Like, I root for them.
Yeah.
But the ones that are doing like, Sanji, we've had such a good time and we've made lifelong friends and all that. So I want to see her crying at the end. I'm not being. I was going to say, I don't know if it makes me a bad person. It definitely does make me a bad person, but I don't care, because I like to see those people suffer.
Yeah, but also, like, it's, as you say, it's a game of chance. So no matter what anybody says on there, the outcome, the only bit you can change is, do you want to swap your box for the last one? That's the only thing you can change, and it's still chance.
Yeah.
But if you win, You got lucky, didn't
Yeah,
you?
well, of course you do, and
Yeah.
it's one of those things that's like, oh well, you know when they take the bid, they take the thing of like, oh, it's like, I'm going to deal at 25,000. Right,
Yeah.
brilliant. You've took £25,000 home. Great.
Now you're trying to
Good on you.
lose.
Right. Well, come on. Let's carry on and see what would have happened. And then they go like, right. So the next thing, like the dealer's offers 34,000. Right. Yeah. Whatever. Like it doesn't matter. I've got 20,
Yeah.
34. Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah.
And then in the end, they open it up, and that's what happened to this woman. She dealt at 20,000, I think it was. Something like that. And she opened it, she went 100,000. She went, oh no. I was like, no one's going to, like, at the end of it, if they've got like they've got one box over there that's like 10 grand. They've got one box here. Oh, they've got one box there and one box here. And one of them's 10 grand and one of them's 100 grand. And the dealer offers 40 grand. No one's going, yeah, go on then, I'll take the risk. Everyone's going to deal at 40,000.
Yes.
So you never lost 100 because you were never going to have the balls to throw away 45 grand to hopefully get to 100. So
I would though, because I chose that box from the beginning.
because you did, yeah, but you remember that.
Yes, exactly.
But they've had to put an extra episode of like countdown or something in that day because you've done it because you only took 4 minutes to do the whole episode. So,
I suppose the other thing, you could just drag it out, couldn't you? And then at the end say, look, I was never taking anything in this box, so I'm about to find out what's in it.
do you know what you do, Baz? Is that you go on there in full intention of taking them out one by like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something like that, and you go, do you know what? My first number is it's my lucky number. I'm going to start with number 1. So you pick number 1, and then like they reveal it, and then your next one you go right, and you start wandering around the horseshoe, looking at people. What do you reckon? What do you reckon? Oh, Dave. What do you reckon? Have you got a good feeling about your box? No, I haven't. Right. Do you know what? The next one I'm going to go with, I've got on really well with this guy, so I'm going to go to box number 2. You pick number 2, and then you do the same shit. You play their silly little game of wandering around, giving bullshit reasons for it, but underneath it all, slowly they're going to notice that you are just doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and so on. I think that's genius. I think that doing it by stealth is the way to go.
Well, you'll have to apply to go on it now and see if you get away with it.
Yeah. See, in your application, you have to say like, you probably have to say like, oh, I'm a very superstitious person, and I would pit my wits against the banker, and I would do all this kind of stuff, and then get on there and just surreptitiously go 1 to 22.
Yeah,
It's the way forward, Bass. I'm going to make that happen.
I love it though, because strategy-wise, it's like you're going to open all the boxes eventually, aren't you? Does it fucking matter whether you do it your way or their way?
That's it, innit? It doesn't matter what order you open them as well. Because if you decided, I'm going to open number 7 last, it doesn't matter what order you open the rest of them, if you're going to go all the way anyway.
Exactly.
Nonsense. Anyway, Baz, do you reckon anybody will have noticed that we started recording this podcast on Monday and it's now Tuesday? Do you think we've done well there? Because
it's like I'm glitching right now.
I'll do my best in editing to make that seamless, so it looks as though it was all on the same night. But by the magic of editing and televisual effects, what's actually happened is Baz's internet went down, so I was left chatting to myself for about 3 or 4 minutes, hoping he'd come back, and he didn't come back. So last night I sent him a couple of WhatsApps, and it was only one ticked, so I started to worry. And then, because my head works the way it works, I was like, well, wait a minute, if his internet's gone down, I'll send him a text, that'll get through. And I didn't get a response from that either. So then my head decided that the only possible, feasible and realistic explanation for what's happened is there'd been a massive explosion at Baz's house, and I just have visions of him lying there in the burning embers of his house. But no,
that would only happen. I was going to say that would only happen if I lived in Emmerdale, because that's where that happens.
So explain to us so Baz, what happened Why are we
Well-
why are we here 24 hours after we have and why have I got about 4 minutes to edit it to get it out on Wednesday now?
Well, I must start off by saying where I live, we have no 4G or anything, in our front or rear garden. In the house, there's no way of it contacting my phone, so that takes out WhatsApp and everything else. And we're also outside of the limit for having phone signal, so I can't even send text.
Bloody hell! I mean,
Yeah, so
I know, Baz. I know your house is 400 years old, but
Yeah.
it sounds like it is 400 years ago in your house.
Well, it's odd because if I walk out of the house, go to the pavement, which is about, say, 15 metres away, and then go up towards the shop about 100 metres, I can just pick up on 4G. But it was quite late last night by the time we got chatting, and it was raining, and I thought, do you know what? I can't be bothered.
So, Baz, let's just rewind on that, right? So I'm sat here thinking, fucking hell, Baz is dead.
Yeah.
And not only is Baz dead, but we joked about Baz not making it to Wednesday, which would have made me feel guilty. And then I'm like, well, how long do I wait before I post this if he is dead? So all of that stuff went through my head. And in reality, you just couldn't be arsed walking 115 metres in the rain.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was a little more. So first of all, I went downstairs, and you know that you've probably done this. You have a system when something goes wrong by unplugging everything and restarting everything.
Turn it off and on
And
again.
the worst case scenario is we couldn't get, myself or Liz couldn't get on our phones to go on the local Cranfield group to have a look to see if, because on there was loads of messages saying, is everyone's internet out? Well, we couldn't see that, so we didn't realise it was a sort of a village-wide problem. So all the time we were just thinking, I wonder if anybody's... You start thinking stupid things like, has a kid come out and cut our cable outside, just ours? And then I realised that they couldn't because I got my car parked so close to the house that they couldn't even get anywhere near it. And then it was just like, what are we going to do now? So I started unplugging stuff. I don't know, I'm pointing, you can't see. I started unplugging stuff and replugging stuff. And then I found some more cables and I got my little tester out and everything was working. I was like, what's fucking going on? And then after I'd done that for a bit, I was like, I'm not going to get back on tonight. And that's when we sort of just went, our life is over.
So what did you do? Bearing in mind that did your telly still work? Have you got Sky? So your telly still?
So
works?
we've got Sky, but everything else dropped out. So some of the channels we've got over Wi-Fi, and then Sky's got a few of them on there. But it lasted all the way through the night. So literally went to bed like with no. This is what I wanted to talk about. How weird have we got to that stage now where if I don't have any kind of connectivity on my phone, I feel like a third world person. I know that sounds bad, but it's really, you suddenly start thinking, I don't know what's going on outside the house now.
How am I supposed to live under these conditions?
That's literally what I felt like. So, yeah. And I realise we're in a sort of this position of privilege, but I was literally like, I couldn't live like this. And then when I woke up this morning, it still wasn't working. I was like, what am I going to do? The only good thing is I had nothing else to do but to go to the gym. So I went to the gym.
You can go to the gym without... Yeah, I mean, you don't travel to the gym via the internet, so you were okay with that one.
But yeah, have you ever lost complete internet at your house?
A couple of times, but like weirdly, even though I'm up in rural Donegal, right in the fact, I've got a faster internet connection here than when I lived just north of Manchester.
Yeah.
Because listen to this is fucking witchcraft, right?
God.
You know, like when I lived in Bury, they were like for years they were digging up the roads and putting in fibre optic cables under the road and all that kind of stuff. Pointless as it stands because you don't need that anymore. But it was like fibre optic cables underneath it, like digging up the roads, putting it into everyone. And here I get, I did a speed test just now, and I've got 450 megabits per second, something like that. Is that what it is? Something like that. Whatever that is. I've got 450 here, and the internet gets to my house down the electricity cables.
Yeah.
So because we're in quite a rural area, the electricity cables are obviously slightly underused. Do you know what I mean? So they've got a capability of taking loads of electricity, but there's only one house at the top or something like that. So they've got loads of, they've got spare capacity, I guess. And I don't know how it works. Probably witchcraft, but they send the internet down the same cables as the electricity.
Yeah, my old house used to have all the internal wires where my conduit for sending the internet round. But this just reminded me one other thing about the internet. I couldn't turn off my lights last night by talking to Alexa.
You didn't have to use you're pressing a switch with your finger. Fucking hell, Baz.
Yeah, I know. I had to go around and turn all the lights off.
You are talking third world country now. If you had to use one of your own digits to turn your lights off.
I've forgotten what a fucking ball ache it was, though. Because it's like, I told you before, didn't I? Our house is all set up backwards, so you have to turn the switch off and walk in the dark to the next switch. Because all the light switches are at the far end. And now I can just go, Alexa, turn on house lights, and it just
and that's
works.
done it for somebody listening at home.
Hopefully.
Someone's lights have just come on at home and just like, fucking hell, Baz, not again. You did that earlier in this episode, like yesterday. Right. Baz, it's now, what time is it? It's now 20 to 8 on Tuesday, which is a full 24 hours after I should have started editing this podcast. So we're going to have to say goodbye to everybody. But I was planning for this to be Baz comes back for one night only. But I can exclusively reveal that I have negotiated for Baz to come back another time next week. And listen, right, next week is one you don't want to miss. Because for 5 years of doing this podcast, we have had a rule of we don't talk politics and we don't talk religion. They're the only two rules of the podcast. Next week, for probably obvious reasons, we are ditching one of those rules and we are going to talk politics. We are going to talk about what the fuck that orange fella in America is doing because he's gone batshit crazy. So we will talk politics next week and we'll talk about that weird orange fella who's gone nuts. I think you know who we're talking about.
Can we call it the Save the Greenland edition?
Yeah, mate. I mean, I don't know how we're going to squeeze it into like 45 minutes or an hour, but we will do. So don't forget, next week we will be breaking one of our only two rules on this podcast for the first time in 5 years. And on that bombshell, that's where we'll leave it for tonight, because I've got to go and edit this to get it out tomorrow morning.
Just stick it in ChatGPT, be fine.
Thanks, everyone, for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time. Goodbye!